Wafi bona choge Biafra Rukobore Amako Kariamano Uramo Wafi bona choge Biafra Rukobore Kariamano Uramo Wafi bona choge Biafra Rukobore Amako Kariamano Urugo Wafi bona choge Biafra Rukobore Kariamano Imanariga Dinta Jaravia Nkene Bugabaya Imanariga Dinta Jaravia Nkene Bugabaya Ogano Chure Aso Coach Patena Bagati Tindino Ogago chere asa coach, but no baget it in no abo. Brother Masikwala, Makine, Sirika, Kiweri, Sigiru, Basabo. Esio, Ema, Esene, Madam Maki, where and to give ego. Imanabu Kage, make you a yes and yellow, and your own in a carol sabo. Do her where we do her where in Borabo, and we can to her son. Do her where we do her where in Borabo, and we can to her son. Sabo Atutu alala nike atutu uru nike ni abwego kenya Atutu alala nike atutu uru nike ni abwego kenya Otu akoga de mbebya fraga bia tutundega ora Otu akoga de wo mbebya fraga biaru tutundega ora Toma Wafi bona choge bia
My Cocolistic.
Afi bona choge Biafra Rukobore Akariamano Ulugo Afi bona choge Biafra Rukobore Amako Akariamano Ulugo Wanem Bianara Biafra do Bianara Here where they give my brother Senator Bianara Biafra Governor Bianara Biafra Absubsidiary Bianara Abataya Here where they give my brother Oh Anile Yala Omo Biafra Kanyikele Tukokike Asemo Wanile Yala Omo Biafra Kanyikele Tukokike Onye furo no niwo Wezi anyị mazi na modika Ike Obiago wetobu Igbo na abo
The full house already is a full house. Obi, Obi, Alec, Frederick, La, Ego Igbo, Holistic is in the house. Gina, where have you been? Cristiano, thank you for joining. Oh, yes, we're Lara is in the house. My old Helen is in the house. Priest Biafra son is in the house. Like. Because it's going to be an interesting one tonight. And it's going to be an open mic. Solomon. Thank you, Priest. Thank you. So
Biafra chinyere weruge ke chinyere ha we chegidala mere mmebu Biafra chinyere weruge henyere ha wele dala mere mmebu Akukarika waye morunwa ngere wera Gogora usa Haga mata ulala Biafra paraha Oga gogora usa Kaga mata ulala Biafra paraha Batoma
New York. I'll give you New York. Okay, thank you very much. That is all for you in New York. Friday, Peter, you can take the number. That is for you. Those of you in New York, that is your rep. Call your rep and get acquainted with, your rep, and anything you need, you can get from your rep. Very, very important. Now, tonight, we have a very important discussion. This song I just played now, some of these people will make you appreciate this song. Wafi Igbo na-achọghị Biafra, elu uru ọ bara ya, of what benefit is you? It is better that you are not alive than that you don't want Biafra, or you are not talking about Biafra, or you are not chasing after Biafra. It is better you were not even born. Somebody like this man here, somebody like this man here, this one is a very unique Otondo. A very unique Otondo of Biafra. You will understand by the time I go to the full interview he had with one guy. You will understand it and you will appreciate it more. But let me establish it with this short video, from that clip, a clip from that particular interview, and I will go to that interview so that you understand, why this man is an educated Otondo, educated moron, educated imbe, educated foolishness. So much respect they accord him. He believed that they accord him respect, but he doesn't know that they don't regard him at all. As far as Fulani is concerned, this man is a goat. This man is mad. He doesn't, in fact, they don't regard him as anything. But for him, he believes in somebody that is important. He was deputy central bank governor. Very educated. But he's an educated Otondo. Educated what? Educated Otondo. I'm telling you. Now, let me play this clip. After I play it, I will put my link, and then I will bring the full interview, and Chineke Biafrans, you will be coming in to join me so that we will know what is actually wrong with some of these people. And you ask a question, is it a natural thing, or is it that these people are not even human beings, or what is wrong with them? What is their cure eventually? Because these people understand the importance of medicine. There are so many medicines that can, serve for the cure of many things, different things, curing of cancer or curing of whatever diseases, But this particular sickness of these people, I don't know what we will use to cure their sickness. Somebody say, okay, the song. Yeah, if you want this song, it is very easy. If you go on YouTube and type Nwa Afọ Igbo Na-achọghị Biafra, just type it on YouTube. If you type Nwa Afọ Igbo Na-achọghị Biafra, the song, you will see it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Just type it there. You will see it there, and then you can use it for your devotion. Okay? Thank you very much. I have it on audio. But I can't promise to be able to send it to you now because there will be so many people requesting for it. I may not have time to send it. But you can try. You can send me a message on my number if you have it. Tell me I need that music. I may be able to forward the audio to you so that you'll be playing it. Okay? Thank you very much. All right. Let me play this, and then it will establish our program tonight, and then we'll open the floodgates. We are going to open the floodgates, both of heaven and of hell. Tonight, we'll open the floodgate of heaven. We'll open the floodgate of hell. Those that want to enter heaven, they will enter. Those that cannot enter heaven, we'll push them to hell. Tonight, everything will happen together. Tonight. I am Vam. So let's go. All right.
The reason the Civil War happened is because the agreements that were reached between him and Ojukwu at Aburi in Ghana were not followed. So hence the East at the time were saying, on Aburi we stand. That was the slogan, because there were some agreements that were reached about how to reconfigure the country and all that, that if they had been kept, there would not have been a civil war, quite clear. Many people conveniently and mischievously make it look as if some people were set, hell-bent on seceding, but they forget the rest of the story. Thousands and thousands of Easterners, especially Igbos, were killed in a pogrom in the north. And that led to a humanitarian crisis. So people ran away from that part of the country back to the east, and it looked as if the lives of people from that part of the country were no longer secure.
Okay, you saw that? Fine. I will remove it now. I will remove it, and then I will take my time. Don't worry. We have a lot to do tonight. At least, I want to dedicate at least 1 hour, 30 minutes for tonight's broadcast, at least. So let me put my link. I'll put my link. Okay, hold on, right? I'll put my link. And then I will go to, I'll put my link. Okay, the link now, let me pin it. While I'm trying to pin it, I'll play it again for those that are just joining.
The reason the Civil War happened is because the agreements that were reached between him and Ojukwu at Aburi in Ghana were not followed. Yes. So hence the East at the time were saying, on Aburi we stand. That was the slogan, because there were some agreements that were reached about how to reconfigure the country and all that, that if they had been kept, there would not have been a civil war, quite clear. Many people conveniently and mischievously make it look as if some people were set, hell-bent on seceding, but they forget the rest of the story. Thousands and thousands of Easterners, especially Igbos, were killed in a pogrom in the north. You know, and that led to a humanitarian crisis. So people ran away from that part of the country back to the east, and it looked as if the lives of people from that part of the country were no longer secure. The reason the civil war happened is because the agreements that were reached between him and Ojukwu at Aburi in Ghana were not followed.
So this man understood very well, and he knew very well, he is completely aware that there was an agreement in Aburi. He knew. So all this while, this idiot was contesting for presidential election, looking for how to fix Nigeria. He knew everything that happened with Ojukwu in Aburi, with Biafra. He knew. This guy, he knew. We'll continue. There's another thing you will know about him today that you will be surprised. You will ask yourself, so if these people were not the ones that started or were actually championing Biafra for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to join them, what is it that they are actually looking for? What is the content of their brain? What did they use make them? What is the formation of these people? How were they created? What did they run for their body? Now the same blood where we get, that these people get, the same thinking, where would they think? Is it the same mentality? Mental disinkwaku of people like Kamsi. You remember the little boy called Kamsi? As it were now, I'm telling you, little Kamsi is more educated, more wiser, more intelligent than this bingo, than this Otondo. I'm telling you. Kamsi was not born before Aburi. I had no idea of Aburi. I was not born. I was only told about Aburi. In fact, Biafra war, I was not born then. I only heard about it. And I'm as angry as if I wish I was there during the war to be a part of those that actually fought for their father and motherland. I wish I was there. But these people that were born, they were alive. They do everything. Yet, they were serving Nigeria to the death. Serving Nigeria as if tomorrow no day. Okay, listen to him again before I go to the full video.
The reason the civil war happened is because the agreements that were reached between him and Ojukwu at Aburi in Ghana were not followed.
Okay.
So hence the East at the time were saying, on Aburi we stand. That was the slogan. You know, because there were some agreements that were reached about how to reconfigure the country and all that, that if they had been kept, there would not have been a civil war. Right? So
he's aware that those agreements were not kept. He knew those that defaulted in the agreement. He is aware. He knew. In fact, he is completely aware. He was not told. He witnessed it. He was alive then. He was born then. He knew.
Many people conveniently and mischievously.
Many people conveniently and mischievously. Who are these many people? Who are the main characters of these people that are conveniently and mischievously? Now, mischievous is somebody that knows that what he's doing is wrong, is evil, is bad, and he will just be using cunning to be lying about it and be doing it. I've been saying it, even though he knows he's lying, he's deceiving, he will still be doing it. Mischievous. And these mischievous people, this Amorphia is still working with them. He's still looking for the same country with them. The same people that mischievously, conveniently lie about what you know that cost the lives of over 5 million of your brethren, that destroyed your land, that up to tomorrow continue to destroy you. The people that know about it, but yet they cover up and they mischievously, conveniently are carrying it out, yet you are comfortable to be with them in one country. I'm telling you. Okay, let's go.
If they had been kept, there would not have been a civil war, quite clear. Many people conveniently and mischievously make it look as if some people were set, hell-bent on seceding, but they forget the rest of the story.
Okay.
Thousands and thousands of Easterners, especially Igbos, were killed in a pogrom.
You see the way he said it? Thousands and thousands. These thousands and thousands are not chickens, so they are not goats, so they are human beings. Thousands and thousands of Easterners. And he's acknowledging also in this statement that these Easterners are not only made up of Igbos, they're also made up of different tribes within Igbo, because he said mostly, who are mostly Igbos. So he also admits that in Biafra, it is not only Igbo. These are the same thing Ojukwu fought for, the same thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. But ask this man about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, I hear what he will say. Even if he will answer you support in private, he will not boldly defend his brother. Ask me, waiting be their game, just to work with the enemy that does not have any regard, any respect, any care about or for you. What is sister? I'm sorry, I'm keeping you longer in the room. I see you. Please just hold on a bit. Let's go. Okay, I repeat it.
But they forget the rest of the story. Thousands and thousands of Easterners, especially Igbos, were killed in a pogrom.
Okay.
You know, and that led to a humanitarian crisis. So people ran away from that part of the country back to the east, and it looked as if the lives of people from that part of the country were no longer secure.
You see? Okay, that's it. That is just a brief synopsis of that. I am going to take it out because there's a full video of over 1 hour. Over 1 hour. But we may not play it all tonight, but we'll have an introduction of it tonight. If there are interesting stuffs in there, I've not listened to all of it. I didn't have time to. I just listened to a very brief introduction of his interview with someone, and then when you listen to it, okay, what is Chukoma, you really like listening to this idiot. He said, China Samwasit said, in the next 10 years, he will be elder in Biafra struggle. That means those criminals wanted to continue shouting Biafra freedom for the next 100 years. He said, in the next 10 years, he will be elder. Elder China Samwasit, shameless fools. Okay. Yeah, let me get that video very quickly. Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me. Okay. A minute. Okay, this is the video. First and foremost, before we go, let me ask Warri's sister to salute and introduce herself before we will go forward. If there's anything you want to say about that first video, you can say. Warri's sister, please. Warri's sister, are you talking? Warri's sister, if you're talking, I'm not hearing you. I don't know. Am I the one that is not being heard, or is it Warri's sister? You are muted. Unmute yourself. Biafra son are watching. Can you hear me? Yeah. If you can hear me, just let me know. Because Warri's sister seems to be talking, but I'm not hearing her. Can you guys hear me? Those that are watching? Write in the comment. Can you guys hear me? Okay, you can hear me. The problem is from her. All right, she will come back. Let's play this now, please. 1 minute. Let me get my backup. Let me get my backup. All right, let's go. I will put it in a smaller one so that this the content owner will not come and start laying claims to it. Let me play. All right, where is it? I should get it from here.
The minerals, the natural resources are owned by the federal government. I think that should change. The oil in Alaska belongs to Alaska. It doesn't belong to Washington. We in Nigeria and in Africa should stop using the excuse
or blaming the West for our failures.
Don't worry about the high exchange rates.
Yes.
Worry about producing.
Worry about having light, electricity 24 hours a day in Nigeria. Worry about moving from 4,000 megawatts to 40,000 megawatts. So the Naira exchange rate is not the problem with Nigeria. It is a reflection of the problem with Nigeria.
Okay. First of all, Prof, thank you so much for doing this. I'm so grateful.
You're very welcome.
I really look forward to meeting you, and I know a lot of young people who want to hear what you have to say. You've inspired so many people of my age, my generation. I began following you when you, I would say after your tenure as Deputy Governor of CBN, you're foreign to politics, the way you spoke, your passion, your virtue. In the midst of mediocrity, you seem to stand out. In everything you said kind of resonated, and so I'm really keen on hearing what you have to say today.
Yeah.
I want to take you back to your childhood, Prof. How was growing up like for you? What's growing up in Nigeria? I think in Enugu State.
Yeah.
How was it like, sir?
Well, growing.
Pay attention to his growing up, his beginning. Pay attention. This is, maybe we might just deal with that today. You have already heard the other short video. That short video came out from this interview. But pay attention to his growing up. This man here now, just pay attention. His name is Kingsley Moghalu, former CBN governor of the zoo and former presidential aspirant of the zoo. Pay attention. Now let's go. What is sister? Okay, let me see. If I bring you in, I will see this in again. All right. I don't want this. I want us to be bigger. How do I do this thing so that? Okay. What is sister? You are in there, but it's better like that. Just hold on. Let's hear this. Okay. What is that? We're trying to greet Biafrans before. Just do that now so that we'll get that over with. Unmute yourself. Greet everyone so that I will play this thing. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. You now, Baba.
Okay. Do you want to say something about the other first video after you greet Biafrans? Go ahead and do that before I bring the full video.
Thank you very much, Biafrans. I'm always with my brother supporting. I love you people, what you are doing. I can't do it. That's how I'm always supporting you people. You people are doing a wonderful job. You people are not tired. Endlessly from one platform to another. What can I say? If not you people, you are the mouthpiece of Nnamdi Kanu. You are the mouthpiece of PM. Thank you people very much. I'm not going to say anything. Let this video finish playing. Then we'll just talk it together. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's see. Where am I? All right. Just mute your mic in case there may be some noise from your own side. All right, let's go.
Growing up actually began outside the country. When I was born in 1963, my father was a foreign service officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then in Lagos. Shortly after I was born, he was posted to Geneva in Switzerland. Yes. And then I joined him a few weeks later with my mother. So my early childhood was spent first year in Switzerland, the next 3 years in Washington, D.C., where he was also posted after Switzerland. Then the Civil War came. We returned to the country before the war was declared. Yes. So my father transferred back to the Eastern Region Civil Service. And so we returned, I think, around March or April 1967. And it was shortly after, a month or two later, that the Eastern Region declared that it was seceding from Nigeria. So my early childhood was also a childhood of war and what all that came with. Now, obviously, as a child, I didn't have too much awareness of the big geopolitical currents that was going on, but I knew there was a war. It affected us in so many ways, including the death of my uncle, my father's younger brother, who was a soldier in the Biafran army at the time.
His father's brother was a soldier in the Biafra army. So this guy, growing up, he was in Nigeria. He was in Nigeria working for the Nigeria, but when the war came, his father brought him back to Biafra land, where his father was fully engaged in this Biafra thing. His father's own brother was fighting in the war. His father's brother also died in the war. So he is very much, part of the Biafra, republic, the first republic of Biafra. So let's continue. You understand?
So when I came back home, and then the Civil War, we lived in Enugu for a little while. Then we moved to Newe, our hometown. And at some point, we also lived in Umuahia, which was one of the capitals, one of the makeshift capitals of Biafra at the time. So I learned how to speak Igbo very well. And I remember the discussions of adults always talking about the war. I kept remembering mention of the name Gowon. Go on. You will keep hearing go on. And then you'll be hearing vandals. Now, on the other side of the war, they were referring to our part of the country as the rebels.
Oh.
So it was the rebels versus the vandals, quote unquote. I mean, those are the names at the time. Now, of course, later on, go on.
So look at this idiot. The way he's talking about the war, he's seen it as a thing of fun. For him, it's sounding like it is fun. The rebels, the vandals, some of these people here, Biafra, by the time everything I get declared, everything, some of these people, some of them should be left to be handled very properly. You understand? So with everything happening, with everything that happened, under him, his father's brother died in the war. So look at the way he's talking about it. Some of us in the side of the country, he's even referring to Biafra as another side of the country. So he's not even referring to Biafra, some of them, those in our own country. So he's referring to Biafra as the side of the country, even though Biafra was declared in his time. So he doesn't even have the balls to tell you those that were in Biafra. So he's even talking about it as if it is something that vandals and rebels and all those kind of things. That is why you see him today, as stupid and foolish as he is. He came contesting for presidency. How many times? 2 times now. In fact, the first time he came, when Duro Timi and the rest of them and Showore, they were all there. They wanted to have a coalition. In that time, people were hearing about him. Deputy CBN and all what have you. But the last one, he had a party. But nobody even know whether he exists. Nobody. In fact, they didn't get such person that was at that level in that country. And he's still talking about that country. He doesn't know what has happened to him, what is happening to him. He's still foolishly thinking that there is something that he has with Nigeria. Chineke gave me many, many things. Don't worry. Don't worry. I need to take it a little bit back. How many minutes call okay?
Name go on. Go on. You'll keep hearing go on. And then you'll be hearing vandals. Now, on the other side of the war, they were referring to our part of the country as the rebels.
Oh.
So it was the rebels versus the vandals, quote unquote. I mean, those are the names at the time. Now, of course, later on, go on, and I became very good friends. And so we've had.
Did you hear that? Maybe I'm too much in a hurry. Let me allow him to say it.
Now, on the other side of the war, they were referring to our part of the country as the rebels.
Oh.
So it was the rebels versus the vandals, quote unquote. I mean, those are the names at the time. Now, of course, later on, go on, and I became very good friends. And so we've had the opportunities to talk a lot about this.
Did you hear that? And later on, himself and Gowon became very good friends. You see the reason why some of these people, we should not, be looking at them and think that they are free or they should be free. With everything Gowon did, with the And you know, he actually said in that short clip we played before, which also contained in this video, I don't know if we will get there while playing this full one. He said that thousands upon thousands of people from Biafra land, especially Igbos, were murdered in thousands. And during the war, millions were murdered in that war. And he is bold enough to tell you that later on, he became very good friends with the person that took the lives of these millions, with a war criminal like Gowon. He's bold to say it. That means the lives of these Biafrans that, you know, anytime we are having our meetings, we always have 1 minute silence for Biafra heroes. For this guy, they don't matter. They are expendable. It doesn't matter. In fact, and he knows, he is the one that told you that Nigeria renegated in their own side of the bargain in Aburi. He knows. But yet, he went ahead to become a friend of Gowon. And he's bold to say it on live TV. Why Biafrans are at war, even presently. Even presently, Biafrans are at war. At war with the same Nigeria, with the same war that Gowon started. Biafrans are still in it, and this warfare, this Otondo is bold enough to tell us this interview was done 6 days ago. He's telling you that he is in good friendship with Gowon, who has not apologized for what he did, who has not repented of his crime, and these idiots. Who knows that the only reason why Gowon is alive today is because we are praying for him to be alive to see the restoration of Biafra. If not, we deserve to lay curses on him to disappear and never to appear again. But this guy, he is bold enough to tell you that he is a good friend to Gowon. I will repeat it. And then
Mazi.
You want to say something?
Yes. He said he's a good friend to somebody that kills his own uncle that fought in the war.
Yes.
Yeah? He's a friend to somebody that made them to leave America or wherever they were to come back home because of the war. He's a friend to that. Can't you see how their soul has been sold to the devil? Carry on.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ada Biafra. Thank you very much. Let's play this.
Now, on the other side of the war, they were referring to our part of the country as the rebels.
Oh.
So it was the rebels versus the Vandals, quote unquote. I mean, those are the names at the time. Now, of course, later on, Gowon and I became very good friends. And so we've had the opportunities to talk a lot about this. And some of, his regrets as well. And so, after
some of Gowon's regrets, do you know that some of Gowon's regrets included that if he had known that Ndi Igbo or some Igbos love money, that he would have just given them money and everybody would keep quiet. That's one of his regrets. Some of his regret, none of Gowon's regret was that, he committed a war crime. Gowon never admits, Gowon has not come to admit that he committed a war crime or to submit himself for punishment for taking the lives of Biafrans. Over 3 million, they say, but we know there are over 5 million. That's not part of Gowon's regret. So when he's telling you his regrets, ask this idiot, what is Gowon's regrets? Did Gowon regret that his brother was killed in the Biafra war? His own brother. Did Gowon regret the life of his own brother? And the only regret of Gowon was that if he knew, he would have given your brother who fought for his freedom, and would have given him money. So he will collect money and put it in his pocket, and Biafra land will still be consumed by Nigeria and Britain. And he would not fight for his freedom. That was his regret. Not that your brother lost his life and over 3 million others. This man, hey God, one after the other.
Always talking about the war. I kept remembering mention of the name Gowon. You know,
Yes.
go on. You
Yes,
keep
yes,
hearing go
yes,
on,
yes.
and then you'll be hearing vandals.
Mm.
Now, on the other side of the war, they were referring to our part of the country as the rebels.
Oh,
So it was the rebels versus the vandals, quote unquote. I mean, those are the names at the time. Now, of course, later on, Gowon and I became very good friends. And so we've had opportunities to talk a lot about this. And some of, his regrets as well. And so, after the Civil War, I grew up then in Enugu mostly, and then Aba, because my father remained down in the East Central State Civil Service. He did not return to the Foreign Service. So we now had a normal childhood at home, and it was a happy time, very happy time.
So his own father was part of the Biafra government. His father was working with the Biafra government. His father did not go back to serve Nigeria. His father served Biafra. His father remained in the service of Biafra. And this Amorphia is still having sympathy for Nigeria. You see why Chineke Gejiakmoyoko?
Parents were civil servants. My mother was a dietitian. So she brought us up quite strictly. She was very strict. My mother was a real disciplinarian. And, I am forever grateful for that. Our father as well. He was also, he set up a lot of values for us, and we were very proud to be his children. We grew up with a sense of pride in bearing his name. And that really has followed me all through my life, because a lot of times, especially in the Eastern region and even sometimes in the federal system, for people of his generation, who knew him, when they know that you're his son, it has attracted a lot of goodwill and very positive reactions, and I also grew up then also wanting to be like him in terms of having a good and very positive legacy. Yes. So that's really, my childhood was quite a very happy childhood, I must say. Yes.
I'm happy
I was the first of, I am the first of 5 children. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I mean, you mentioned the values your parents instilled in you.
Yes.
Which is obvious. I mean, from you being a professor, the kind of things you talk about, how eloquent you speak, and the values you always preach whenever you give your public speeches. I listened to a bit of your speech at the leadership conference a few weeks ago in Lagos.
Yes, in Abuja.
Sorry, in Abuja. So incredible. Was amazing.
Thank you.
But just going back to what you mentioned about the Civil War.
Yes.
I mean, I know you are 3 or 4 years old, so you may not remember much.
Yes.
But what stood out to you?
I was 4 years when the war started.
Okay.
Yeah, and 7 when it ended.
From your recollections about the Civil War, what stood out to you? And when you compare it to today, when you see, you and I, so we're from the East.
Yes.
When you see some people still talking about Biafra,
yes,
does it make you afraid? Does it make you scared? Does it make you think back to your experience? You mentioned your uncle who sadly passed away.
Yes.
What do you think? How do you think we should approach this topic of Biafra?
The matter of Biafra.
Pay attention. The guy that's asking him question is also a Biafran. You understand? So the guy is asking him now, what does he think? When you hear people talking about Biafra now, does it make you afraid? What does it make you feel like? He also reminded him again, knowing fully well that you lost your own father's brother in the war. So listen to him now.
It's the matter of the war. What led to the war and what the war represented in terms of what happened, the millions of lives that were lost. And the attempt at secession, which was, of course, unsuccessful. The return or the recombination of Nigeria as it originally was after the Civil War, with the East now back in the fold. So, let me first of all start with another recollection about the war that was not political at all, and that was eating and frying crickets and grasshoppers. Very succulent, delicious, oh my God, so tasty.
Yes.
So I remember those things as a child.
You dey hear this Mogu? They are talking about a war that took the lives of over 3 million people. Out of that, he is quickly the one that he's remembering more that is important to him is that he was able to roast and fry crickets, succulent and sweet and all that. That's why when you see these people, you see them, you think they have brain. You don't know that they don't have a head. When I call him Otondo, there's a reason why I call him Otondo. You understand? That's the reason why I call him Otondo. Because if this guy is not an Otondo, he will understand that whatever it is that made Ojukwu to get very serious, we try to bring to the table a discussion that will give you a sense of belonging in your own land. That took him to Aburi, even though his man was not that let me break away, but his man was that look, even if we're not breaking away, let us have a sense of belonging in our own land. Do you have it today? You don't. In fact, is it not worse? Even today, it's worse. You are in that country today. They are telling you, and they have said it sidely by the side and within their government, and they keep saying it that your tribe can never ever smell leadership in that country. And they have made sure that there is nothing, a very strong developmental project that will happen in your own side. And they're carrying it out. And you are here telling me about the cricket and the, whatever you roasted during the war, and it is succulent. And what kind of rubbish people are these? I'm asking, how were they born? He is comfortable telling you all these kind of things. He's even comfortable telling you that it was an attempt at secession that failed. An attempt at secession that failed. Our nation was recognized by other nations. There were betrayers. And I don't know the kind of father you had. Only God knows if he was one of those Ifajunas that was not identified for you to have this kind of mentality that you have now, even though you were at the epicenter of the whole thing. You are here telling us about something that has no eternal value, something that cannot stand the test of time, something that is completely irrelevant for me. Because already as I'm looking at you, I am angry that you are not the one, haven't had all this experience, haven't been in the middle of the whole storm, haven't been part of the whole thing. You are supposed to be part of those spearheading. People like you should have been ahead of it all. So that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be, pushing you and say, yes, you were there, you saw it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was a baby during the war. You were about 4 years old. So you are older than him. So you had a little bit of an experience of that war. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was born during that time of the war, 1967. So he knew virtually nothing about it, but you knew. You were born in Switzerland. Then from Switzerland, you were moved to Washington. From Washington, you came back to Biafra land, and your father was in the civil service of Biafra, and yet you are here talking about Nigeria. Otondo. Why would I not be angry with people like you that are supposed to be at the forefront of it all? Can you imagine that? Educated Otondo. That's what you are. In Aguaya about Shiko and Opana Unuri during the war. What nonsense. But that's not the core of it. Let me play. This is the place I listened to this interview to. I got angry and I said, I'm going to bring you to Biafrans. Let us deliberate on it. Let me listen to the things that I didn't hear before. Let me join you now. Biafrans, let's go.
It's now back in the fold. So let me first of all start with another recollection about the war that was not political at all. And that was eating and frying crickets and grasshoppers. Very succulent, delicious, oh my God, so tasty.
Yes.
So I remember those things as a child, because there wasn't that much food, and so people made do with a lot of things, So But more seriously, the war represented a breakdown of shall we say, a negotiated solution to a dispute between two different parts of the country. The eastern region, which included not just the Igbos, I want to remind you, but several other minority ethnic groups in the eastern region. You know, we have to go back to the coup, the first coup, you know, which Nzogu led and which killed a lot of political leaders. And, you know, by some happenstance, some would think it was calculated, but I don't think it was. It was a botched execution of the coup that led to the reality that no major, you know, politician of the Igbo group was killed, but several leaders from other ethnic groups were.
Mostly from the north as well.
Mostly from the north, but also from the southwest, you know, Akintola. Then, of course, even from the Midwest, Okotiebo, I think. Yes. So we have to also, especially for those of us from the southeast, not forget this beginning. It's very convenient to think about our own losses and those of us who lost their lives, but we also have to consider the other side, quote unquote, at that time as well. Now, because of that botched execution of the coup, it looked like an Igbo coup, but it was not intended, as far as I know. I've researched this topic very well. Even read the book by Ademulego, who is not Igbo, you know, who was one of the, Adeboyega, sorry. Yeah, Adeboyega, who was one of the 5 majors, you know, who planned the coup. But, you know, the negotiations broke down. One of the reasons it broke down is because the agreement at Aburi, and I have discussed this with Gowan, and I have put it to him that the reason the civil war happened is because the agreements that were reached between him and Ojukwu at Aburi in Ghana were not followed.
Yes.
So hence the East at the time were saying, on Aburi we stand. That was the slogan, you know, because there were some agreements that were reached about how to reconfigure the country and all that, that if they had been kept, there would not have been a civil war, quite clear. Many people conveniently and mischievously make it look as if some people were set, hell-bent on seceding, but they forget the rest of the story.
Now, let's address this. This is the part I played before. You know, let's address this. Now, this man, who had he been, he has brain, should have been an elder statesman in Biafra. But today, there's no accolade that he will get for Biafra or from Biafra. Now, why will he never get any accolade? He saw everything. He witnessed everything. Now, he has been able to identify the truth, to know that that particular coup that is making those from the north to keep pointing accusing finger on Ndibu and keep punishing Ndibu, that it was Igbo coup. He has, you know, demystified that nonsense, that there was nothing like Igbo coup. It was a happenstance, like he said. It was something that happened. It was not a predetermined. Even though most of the people that died were not from the Igbo side, but it was not a pre-planned. It was the way it was, because even people that were not Igbos, like he said, the book he read, the writer of that book is not an Igbo man, but he declared that it was not an Igbo coup. But this is where they point their finger at. Now, but the way he's saying this, I discussed it with Gowan and all that. Now, you, as intelligent as you are supposed to be, do you ask yourself, why is it that Gowan, that you have decided to make your friend, refuses to agree with you or to tell you categorically, look, yes, I know that agreement it failed because we didn't play our own part. Why did he not play his own part? And why is it that Gowan, even now that he's near to his grave, and the only thing holding him now is the prayers that our prayer warriors are praying, because with his koro eye, with his 2 eyes, and with his ears, he's going to hear the sound of abundance as Biafra will be redeclared. Biafra will be redeclared because Biafra is already a nation acknowledged by other nations. Do you understand? So God will witness it. And you that is supposed to know that there are forces behind that have brought up God, that those forces have been in charge, that those are the forces that brought in Boko Haram. Those are the forces that have also installed the one that is there now, the criminal Jaga bandits. And they are the ones that have ensured that the Igbo are being punished till tomorrow. And you are there saying it as if it is something that you discuss like a subject in the classroom. And then you talk about it and then it ends there. And you think that only talking about it like that will bring a solution without engaging and actually confronting that demon headlong. Because if you are discussing it around the table like this, the more you are discussing it, the more they are penetrating your people, the more they are taking your land, the more they are bringing the Fulani, both their army and their foot soldiers and their herdsmen to take our land, to continue to molest and rape our children and mothers and stop them from farming and bring in their cows, and their cows are more important than human beings. And your own brothers who were governors were at a point admitting that if a cow is lost, you know, they value the life of a cow even more than the life of a human being. What are the things that made them not to admit this error and this evil till tomorrow? But you're just discussing it on this table like this, as if it's something that it will just pass away because you are discussing it with one young man called Noble. And you just talk about it and it goes. It doesn't go. You know it doesn't go. You know that the pogrom didn't end. The pogrom continues. During Osa Abiola, you know what happened during Osa Abiola? After Osa Abiola, even common election that was won by Donald Trump in America, that some people in the East supported Donald Trump, they started killing them in the North. You understand? And then to that, even this election that you partook in, recent election, and they voted, at the end of the day, they gave the person they want to give. But because your brethren decided they were not going to vote for them, they started buying them and started destroying their properties, which they are still doing till tomorrow. Just last week here in Lagos Island, your brothers, their businesses worth billions and trillions of naira were destroyed in Lagos Island. In Abuja, they are suffering the same thing. And you are here discussing as if it is something that will just end from a discussion on a coffee table. No. They are putting bounties upon your brothers that are asking for the safety of their own people. Bounty upon Mazen Namdekanu. They kidnapped him from Kenya, and he is still in their dungeon. And you are there discussing around the table and still talking about Nigeria as if it's something that will end from that discussion on the table. Bounties have been placed on the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Masa Modekba, and they are calling him a terrorist, and you know he is not. And he's fighting for your own freedom. And you are there on the table, just talking as if it is something that will be waved away just by the mere discussion and saying, I have spoken to Gowon about it. When you spoke to Gowon about it, what did he tell you? Did he admit that he did evil? Did he admit that he's a war criminal? Did he admit and tell you that Britain are the ones that told him to renegade on the agreement he had with Ojukwu? What was it that you discussed with Gowon? What is the outcome of those meetings you had? Did you just have the meeting for your own personal ego, your own personal interest? Or do you not remember your brother that lost his life and over 5 million that also died? Oh, what is it actually that you are looking for in Nigeria that you have not had enough of already? Eh? Oh, my goodness me. My head is full. I'm telling you, my head is full. But let me go. Let me play it and see what else he has to add to this particular one that I know I played before. Let's go.
Thousands and thousands of Easterners, especially Igbos, were killed in a pogrom in the north.
Yes, that's
and that led to a humanitarian crisis. So people ran away from that part of the country back to the east, and it looked as if the lives of people from that part of the country were no longer secure in the Federation. So the military governor at the time, Odumegwu Ojukwu, felt a sense of responsibility to protect them. And so in all this, a lot of disputes, a lot of acrimony,
So for you now, thank God you admit it now, that Odim Odimogojuku felt a sense of responsibility to protect them. Now, I ask you today, Moghalu, what is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? To you, what did he do? What is he doing? What is Mazi Simon Ekpa? To you, what they are doing, is it different from what Ojukwu did? The thing that pushed Ojukwu, Ojukwu, to go for the safety of his own people, that led to the Aburi Accord, are the things worse than those things not happening today? That made him to have a sense of protection for his own people. The same thing that made Ojukwu take that step. Now that there is no more Ojukwu, the things that made him take the step are happening times 2. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took the step, and they went even beyond what they did to Ojukwu by going to buy him. They buy 28 people in his house. He escaped with his life. They went as far as kidnapping him. Chukwu Kikabiam arranged for us a finisher, who today they are also calling for his head. The same thing. If you can admit in this video that Ojukwu was only protecting his own, why is it that you with your Otondo head cannot admit the same, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa are doing the same thing that Dim Ojukwu did, which you agree here? Why? What is it that you are benefiting from Nigeria that you don't want to let go? What is loaded in that cucumber that they give to you to eat that you don't want to let go? Are you still frying cricket in Nigeria that is succulent and sweet, that is making you to forget that your people are perishing? In Taburo, working at cricket, what is your problem? Is it cricket that's still frying for you, that's making you to forget that it is the same thing that Ojukwu fought for? That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who till tomorrow maintain the legacy of Dim Ojukwu. The same thing that Mazi Simon Ekpa, our prime minister, maintain the double legacy. Dim Ojukwu and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu double together with himself, standing and fighting for the same thing, to save this your coconut head. Oh, I don't know if somebody can help me talk to this man. Hey, Chineke Mereme Bere. Or Gene, what is sister? Do you want to help me? Oh my goodness me. You went away, honestly. Okay, what is sister have gone to the kitchen, maybe to cook something. Let me play it.
Carry on, I'm here, my brother. Carry on.
Okay, you are there, no wahala. Let me play it. Let's go. Let's listen to him. All right, let's go.
And that led to a humanitarian crisis. So people ran away from that part of the country back to the east, and it looked as if the lives of people from that part of the country were no longer secure in the federation. So the military governor at the time, Ojukwu, felt a sense of responsibility to protect them. And so in all this, a lot of disputes, a lot of acrimony, recriminations, and the big brother, General Ankara in Ghana, invited Gowon and Ojukwu to Aburi. And there, a lot of discussions and negotiations, and everything was fine. When they came back, it wasn't what was agreed that happened. That's a very important proximate cause of the Civil War. And it is false history when people ignore this fact, So that's concerning the war itself. Of course, we know.
So you that is not ignoring that fact. He said it's a false history when people ignore this fact. Thank you. I'm going too hard on you. I don't know if I should, but I'm angry. That's why I am going hard on you. I'm happy that you are admitting this fact that it's a false history. I'm happy that you're doing that. But I'm angry that you are not acting on your word. Because mere rhetorics does not work on these people. Mere talks does not work on these people. There's only one language they understand. That is the same language they speak. And if you do not speak that language, they will not understand. And they think they have monopoly of that language. It is called violence. They speak that language and they speak it verbatim. And they show it everywhere. They are not afraid to display it. They know how to speak that language. But they do not have monopoly of that language. We also can speak that language. But it annoys me when people like you think we shouldn't be speaking in the same language, so that if they don't hear, at least they can know that we know how to speak that same language. Because this English you speak, they don't understand it. They don't want it. And you and I know that this English, they say it is haram. They call it haram. They say that's why they have Boko Haram. They say book is haram. As far as they are concerned, Mazi, why do I call you Mazi? Moghalu, you are nothing but a haram to these jackals. You are a haram to them. They are jackals. They don't care. They devour. They destroy. They don't spare anything. And if you must defeat them, the same language they are speaking, they come with AK-47. You should be ready with AK-47. Are you more militarily inclined than Danjuma, who also fought against you in the war? Are you more militarily inclined? Danjuma fought against you in the war. But today he's telling you that the language they speak is the language you should be speaking. Because he's telling you that the military collude with them. And that if you do not know how to speak that same language that they speak, that they are going to wipe you all out. That is Theophilus Danjuma. He's still alive. Why did you not make him your friend? I would appreciate it if you make Theophilus Danjuma your friend, so that he will speak senses into your blockhead. Instead of making a friend with Gowon, whom even up to tomorrow, they are massacring his own people. And I don't know if they tie the rope to his scutrum that is making him not to save his people by speaking the truth. Probably when they draw that scutrum, he will say, hey, okay, what you did in Aburi is okay. I don't want to speak against it. And he'll tell you he destroyed them. They'll draw his scutrum, the rope, and he will be confessing and supporting them. But Theophilus Danjuma, who fought you, who was under Gowon, is today telling you, if you do not rise up and protect yourself, they will wipe you out. Make him your friend and not Gowon. Make him your friend and ask him questions. Go and ask Theophilus, why was Aburi not implemented? Maybe he will be in a position to tell you the truth now that they are all confessing. You don't need to make people like Obasanjo or Gowon your friend, or the late Buhari, who is gone now. You make those people your friend, and then there's no way you will be able to stand for your own people. So it's good that today you are telling us that it is a misplaced history. It is error if they continue to believe otherwise, that we are the cause of the war, forgetting that they are the ones that caused it. If they did not, go against their own agreements, the war shouldn't have taken place at all. All right, let's go a little bit back so that we'll get that point that you just made there.
Ultimate cause of the Civil War. And it is false history when people ignore this fact, So that's concerning the war itself. Of course, we know about 2 million lives were lost, mostly on the Biafran side and all of that. So it was a tragedy, really, of huge proportions for the whole country, but particularly for the eastern part of the country, which was the theater of the war. A lot of destruction, a lot of families, and a breakdown of social values that now became evident after the Civil War and created some dysfunction in the society. Now, why are people going back to this Biafra idea? It is because in their mind, the war is not over. There is a perception, and some people would argue a reality, that the Igbos have been politically marginalized since.
Now, you see where he is trying to be politically correct, where he's choosing his words very carefully, where he cannot call a spade, but wants to call it a garden fork because he wants to be politically correct. Now he's telling you why is it that people are calling for Biafra today. Look at the way he's painting his words and choosing his words very carefully so that he doesn't offend people. I want him to repeat those words that this line he's using so that we will address it very, very critically now. Because there's one thing he said that people in their mind, the war is not over. That is a lie that he's lying to himself. It is not in our mind that his war is not over. On ground, the war is not over. It is not our mind. Vividly, evidently on ground. Today, as we speak, Imo State is a battleground. Enugu is under siege most of the time, if not that we have a government. And you are telling us that on our mind, the war is not over? Our men are receiving gunfires every day, helicopters. Are there terrorists in Biafra land? And you are here telling a journalist that on their mind, the war is not over. Do you see how deceptive? He is trying to tell you that people are being deceptive if they don't accept about the agreement in Abu. But he is manipulating truth here by telling you that the war is not over in our mind. No, we are still fighting. Every day we make fundraising to equip our men. And they exchange gun battles every day in Biafra land. Our youths are disappearing rapidly on a daily basis. And you are telling a journalist that in our mind, it is not in our mind. The war is not over, the war is on ground, not in our mind. 14 Biafra youths that went for a wedding were all murdered in cold blood, and you are telling us that it is in our mind. 18 armored tankers were neutralized in Imo State in 6 days. You are telling us that it was in our mind? You need help, bro. You need help. Let me rewind it so that he will repeat that his false narrative again.
It wasn't what was agreed that happened. That's a very important proximate cause of the Civil War. And it is false history when people ignore this fact, you know? So that's concerning the war itself. Of course, we know about 2 million lives were lost, mostly on the Biafran side and all of that. So it was a tragedy, really, of huge proportions for the whole country, but particularly for the eastern part of the country, which was the theater of the war. A lot of destruction, a lot of families, and a breakdown of social values that now became evident after the Civil War and created some dysfunction in the society. Now, why are people going back to this Biafra idea? It is because in their mind, the war is not over. There is a perception, and some people would argue a reality, that the Igbos have been politically marginalized.
It said some people will argue a reality. Now, what we bring, is it an argument, or do we have evidences of marginalization? Now, you see the words they choose to make it sweet. They say they will argue, they argue reality. We don't argue, we have evidence, clear evidence of marginalization. And you say some people will argue. So that means, why are you running for this useless office you are running for if you don't have any evidence? Is it by people's arguments that you will come, or you have seen evidently marginalization playing out and then you want to come and see if you can help? What do you actually use as your campaign, lines? They are telling us that people argue. Oh my God. You see, all this English they speak, thank God some of us understand English. So when they speak some of this English, some of you will just listen and say, this guy goes school, he's deceiving you.
ultimate cause of the Civil War. And it is false history when people ignore this fact, you know? So that's concerning the war itself. Of course, we know about 2 million lives were lost, mostly on the Biafran side and all of that. So it was a tragedy, really, of huge proportions for the whole country, but particularly for the eastern part of the country, which was the theater of the war. A lot of destruction, a lot of families, and a breakdown of social values that now became evident after the Civil War and created some dysfunction in the society. Now, why are people going back to this Biafra idea? It is because in their mind, the war is not over. There is a perception, and some people would argue a reality, that the Igbos have been politically marginalized since the war. And that sense of injustice, that sense of exclusion, now led some young people to begin to resuscitate this idea of Biafra and separatism and secession. Now, I do not believe that the Southeast should secede from Nigeria. I do not. Because if you could not achieve it when the country was in clear regions, it's almost impossible, of course, to do that now when there's been so much more integration.
Yes.
You see why sometimes you just wish, what should you do to these people? You see? Did you hear what he's just saying? He doesn't believe in secession. If we did not achieve it then when they were in region, how can you achieve it now when what? What is he saying actually? What is in place now? What is actually in place now that will make you not to achieve it? The confusion they set up by themselves, whereby you cannot argue or you cannot speak, you cannot have rights, whereby they have this, all these things they have set up that you admitted they agreed. Are they not the things that made you to lose your voice? You cannot have your say, you cannot have your voice. They reduced you. They will come and tell you you are only 5 states. Go back. If you are looking for Biafra, go and talk to your constituents, go to the Senate and all that. Why did they do that? Just to make sure they destroy your mental health, to make you think that you can do it. But when they reduce it, they tell you these ones are not Igbo. You are Igbo. Then Biafra is Igbo. Then let the 5 states fight for Igbo. And I thank God for our people that have gone, on a social experiment, have gone from village to village in Kogi, in Benue, in Calabar, in Akwa Ibom, in all these states that belong to Biafra. And they all admit that they are Biafrans. My sister that is here on the stage with me is, was carved into data, and she is Biafran. And she admits it, not only her, there are millions. But this Congo head, this Otondo, this, oh my God, what do I call this Oluku? Is here telling you that it is impossible. So because it is impossible to him, you should give up and perish with Nigeria, because their determination is to exterminate you. I said, because this idiot does not believe that you can be free, then submit yourself to be annihilated by Nigeria. I don't want to go on here. Maybe we will, give it a try next time. Let me open the microphone if there's anybody that wants to talk. I didn't even know that there are people in my room already. There are people in my room already. Let us remove this bingo. Let me remove this bingo so that we'll have Biafrans talk. At least at least you have heard him tell you that it is impossible, that he doesn't believe in it. So now tell me, as you come in, how do we begin to treat these people? What? No, don't you think they deserve urgent Biafra baptism in the sense that you want to interpret it? Because the Bible said something. The Bible says something in Hebrews. It said, it is impossible for those of you who have tasted of the heavenly gift, who have tasted of the kingdom of God, when you baptize, to be brought back again. It is like crucifying Christ a second time. To people like this, it is impossible to save them. You understand? Because he has experienced it, he was part of it, he witnessed it. He even told you how he ate cricket roasted, and he told you it was succulent, and that should be history. It should be in history. But as far as now is concerned, forget about it. No, the Bible said to them, people like this, it is impossible to save them. So what should we do to them? Because why is the Bible saying it? The Bible is saying it because the ancient landmark cannot be denied. You cannot remove the ancient landmark. You cannot tell us that Biafra is impossible. Anybody that have been part of Biafra, that have been part of the redemption, and then today is telling you that redemption is impossible. He said to that person, he tested it before, and they're telling you that it is impossible. He said it is impossible to save that person. That's what it means. Because you cannot tell me that my redemption is impossible because your head has been washed with Fulani cow and the Fulani Furadi Nono. Let's give the microphone to you, or let me begin with Wari sister. You have been in the studio ever. Let's take you first before Batuegu. Wari,
yeah. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. He's trying to tell us that he's wiser than his father and his father's brother that fought the war. That is what he's trying to say, that he's very wise. That's why he ate, what did he say he ate again that is succulent?
He ate cricket, roasted cricket.
He has taken his brain. That thing has taken his brain. Now his brain is like cricket's brain. It's not thinking like human. It's not thinking, why did they take history off the curriculum in Nigeria? It's not saying that. You are wiser than your father, that you said you don't believe that Biafra should live. But your father that gave birth to you believed. Your uncle believed. Your people believed, but you did not believe. Why? Because you are in the corridor of where they eat money, where they bribe, where you get money. You are one of those people that they said if they know, they could have given money. It's just him. He's still fighting to be a president of the zoo. You Biafra, that your father fought or worked. When I mean fought, I mean it was part of the Biafran cabinet at that time. And you cannot see what your dad did as a good thing. That your dad is fighting for you. And you don't want to fight for your children. You don't want to fight for your generation to come. You just want your uncle's buy to be in vain. You don't want to revenge, and somebody is willing to revenge for you. Even the man that said we're all going to buy one by one, he knows what he's talking about. He was with Gowon, and you could not make friend with him. You're making friend with Gowon. The person that says, if only I knew, they could have given you people money to buy all your people. You said 2,000. You say it's only 2 million. Look at your brain. The cricket have taken your brain. Instead of 4 million you should call, you are calling 2 million. Who did this to you people? Who did this to you people? That's why we are still blind. We that is not saying, we that they cut away. That's why we are blind, because most of these idiots, if you live with them, they are still deceiving people. They are deceiving people. They don't want to speak with one voice. They are in the camp of ostrich and Pashoko people. Very silly human being. Upon all what we are fighting, you are seeing this kuro, you've been rejected. You are not wanted. You can see it everywhere. You can see what they are doing to your brothers and sisters, what they are doing to their businesses. You cannot come out and speak that you are still saying Nigeria should be together. Hey, woo, mumu.
Now the very point is that this comment of our sister here is very important. He said, I don't blame him. All his life, he's been enjoying being worshipped by the poor and the downtrodden. Remember, he was born in Switzerland.
Yes.
From Switzerland, he was moved to Washington
Yes.
at the age of 3. Then he came back to witness the war. And then during the war, he did not suffer like others. He was working. You know, his father was a senior civil servant. You know, He was not, his father was not fighting in the war, but rather was working in the office. So he was enjoying. Even during the war, he was enjoying.
Yes.
Do you think it's everybody that can afford to even catch? I'm sure that cricket that he was eating during the war, he didn't catch it. They bought it for
him. Have you forgotten that children died out of shock, out of hunger? People die. People, this man did the chop butter and bread. When
the point I want to establish, what is sister? The point I want to establish by cutting you a little bit is this man does not ever want to get involved in a revolution.
No.
Because he doesn't want to lose one day of enjoyment.
No.
He doesn't want to be like Moses, who forbade to enjoy, but chose to suffer with the people of Israel instead of enjoying in the palace with the Pharaoh's daughter.
My brother, when I see this kind of people, I weep. I weep because it's like, I don't know what they used to brainwash them. What? How much? What are you eating? And look at your age. What are you eating that you are not tired? You cannot give up for your people to survive.
Thank you, Wari sister. Let's give other people the microphone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mbatuegu Iloabuchi, my brother Alexander. Please grab the mic, please.
Good morning from my zone. Good morning to you, Pastor Bam Bam Bam.
Thank you, my brother.
Greetings to all Biafrans. You know, these are the set of people that has kept us where we are today. They are only after what they will benefit and their political desires. There are many. All of them, their children are studying abroad. They move around with security. If the environment is not conducive for them, they catch the next flight out of the country. Their life is well secured. And the benefit they are getting from the so-called Islamic State called the zoo, they never want to lose it. They maintain a very good and humble table manner. I call it table manner because when they read near the Ekwoku, they are eating from the pulse of the zoo. So they can't talk. They know the truth. They know the truth. Are you telling me that this man is not aware that they went to Nnamdi Kanu house and killed 28 people? That nearly took his life, that took the life of the mother?
He would never talk
Are you telling me that this man is not aware that our people were massacred because they were waving flags asking for freedom?
Yeah.
Okay. These are the same people that contributed money to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu, our able leader, was kidnapped and brought back to Nigeria in order to protect their political interests.
Yes.
Tinubu is not the one holding Nnamdi Kanu. Buhari is not the one holding Nnamdi Kanu. Nigerian court is not the one holding it. The people holding Nnamdi Kanu are the southeastern politicians.
Yes.
Quote me at any time.
Yes.
Quote me at any time. So, until after declaration by December, they will understand that there is difference between capital letter A and Okwesi.
Exactly.
The generation they are talking to, the generation they are trying to brainwash, the generation they are trying to convince with English is not that generation that ate cricket. This is not that generation that ate lizards to survive. A war that people, even my own father, willingly, people were happy, willingly going to Amoka field for training, preparing to defend their fatherland. Even up to today, people are still ready to defend that same cause for us to be free forever. Are you telling me that these people are not seeing that some local government in the north has been taken over and the people who own the land are meant to pay tax before they can enter their farm? Are you telling me that this man is not hearing the massacre that is going on in Enugu and Ihamufu precisely? Go and check the environment where he lives in the village, the building, the mansion he owns in the village. When you climb on top of that mansion and look around, you see the neighbors still live in mud house. He cannot help them because he has his own political interest. But here now, what happens now? When the time comes, there will be no mercy. There will be no mercy because We are not happy. Look at how vibrant Biafran youths are scattered all over the world. The Caliphate designed the system of Nigeria in such a way that even if you come out from school with first class, they make it impossible for you to engage into the system. Thereby, you will be forced, after paying school fees, to find a way to travel abroad. They keep it like this, and when you see it, go to Abuja, enter any government, any ministry in government in Abuja, all you will see there is Fulani throughout. Sometimes they don't speak Hausa, they don't speak English because they can't speak English. They're not learned. And under this watch, our brothers who are in politics, who are supposed to canvass for the freedom of their people, are the ones even telling their boss, don't worry, they are my boss. I will talk to them. Just give me small money. When I go, I talk to them. And this is what they did with Nzama people that make them fall apart. Today, they don't know whether they should go front, go back. They keep crying. Because what they do is to lure you in, and once they lure you in, immediately they go what they want, they dump you. And if you raise your head, they eliminate you. Nigeria is where they play the most deadliest politics in the whole world. And we don't want that. We want to be free. Go and tell this, if anybody hearing me out to tell this idiot that the generation that ate grasshopper or whatever he said he ate that time is different from this generation. This generation don't want to even listen to anybody. The language that this generation understands is freedom, and that is all we want to hear, period. And this generation is ready to crush any motherfucker, anybody that is going to stand on our way. Because enough is enough. Look at what we are doing abroad. We are supposed to, we have every natural resources. Even the mineral resources in Biafra land has not been touched. And this is what the British saw that made them. The war is not even. It's not. Somebody said it's a civil war. This is genocide. The target was that in 3 months, wipe them out, remove your cows. And what happened at Uguta? The people that the Hausas and Fulani that Ojukwu destroyed with bucket bomb at Uguta, they were coming in with their families, with their cows. They are coming with their wives and their children. They are not coming to fight. The soldiers is at the front. These ones are coming to settle. Before Ojukwu destroy them with Ogunigwe. And that was how Uguta was liberated. Go to that place today. The bars they use, the pieces and the remains are still there up to today. So our Fulani man is not coming to rub a mind with you to do politics. Their original aim and orientation is not all about development. Fulani man don't know anything about development, about technology, about science, and they don't know. As you are telling them about how to develop, they are looking at that land their father gave you behind you, how they will take it. So, in order to round it off so that my brothers, others will come in, I'm urging every Biafran, do not look at this. If you have a politician in your family, believe me, it's like you have an assistant devil in your family. Because they are, in fact, if they contest with devil in Nigeria, they go win. Because the devil is even considerate. He will give you opportunity to make choice. They don't give you opportunity to make choice because they believe they have the power in their hands. Do not listen to them. All of us must put our eye on the rising sun. 2nd of December. After then, I no mercy.
Thank you very much. Thank you much. Thank you very much. Blessings. All right, we want to invite our sister Comfort, and let me respond to my brother here, Udeogu. People should stop saying Mazi Kanu is being held by Southeast politicians. So that means Zoo politicians has no hands in Mazi Kanu detention and persecution, right? Laughable. Please laugh all you care and laugh all you want. That is the truth. Okay, my brother. Laugh all you care and laugh all you want. That is the truth. And these Southeast politicians are telling you they are also Zoo politicians. And why are we saying that? That they are the ones responsible. The zoo politicians you want us to also count among. They are, they are on their side protecting themselves. The Fulani on the Hausa politicians, they are protecting ISWAP. They are protecting terrorists. Can't you see? Did you see the governor of Niger State? Governor of Niger State is telling the military that they should not come and attack bandits. Did you hear any Southeast governor telling Andami not to come and attack? Rather, they are the ones inviting them. So why are you saying laughable? Don't let me get angry with you. What kind of rubbish are you talking? Telling laughable. If you like, go and laugh anything. But don't laugh down your laugh on my platform. Otherwise, I'll change them for you. They are the ones that are responsible. And that's why we gave them a vote of no confidence. So if you are an agent of Southeast politicians, you come here, we'll give you the color. So be very careful, okay? We know what we mean when we are talking about them, that they are responsible, and we know what we mean. Where a northern senator or a northern governor will be, we have a rehabilitation center for bandits. But a governor in the Southeast, so-called, will be paying Nigerian army to come and be looking for IPOB. Is IPOB carrying gun? The people carrying gun, they are Biafra Liberation Army. They are not IPOB. But these people will go and carry gun. Will go and be looking for IPOB. They will go and buy some young people and they'll come out and say, we confronted IPOB members. Don't you see it on the news? Does the governor say anything about it? Didn't Abaribe come on the assembly and said that we are criminals? That the people saying Biafra, IPOB, that they are criminals. And when we say that they are responsible for mass the car, you come on my comment section and say that it's laughable. Don't let me curse you. Please grab the microphone to comfort Imo.
Well, Pastor Van, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Don't mind that guy. Odiko is Hope Uzodimba.
I don't care who he is. He used to make some interesting comments, but when he made this comment now, it just get on my nerves.
Yeah. So, yeah, going back to what this man Moghalu, going by his name alone, more have left him. He's empty. He's speaking out of his emptiness. Look at in his own state. How many military checkpoints are there in his home state?
Okay.
That he cannot even travel to his home state without security. And then there's somebody that made a post. The person just spoke my mind. You will not blame him because he during the war, his family did not fight the war. They had everything at their beck and call. So he didn't even actually experience the war.
Yes, he didn't.
He didn't experience the war.
What?
Is it somebody like me that my parents had to run away? They
were five. They were five according to him, and they all survived. He didn't tell us anything about it. Was only his brother, his father's brother, that fought as a soldier that lost his life. His own siblings, his own brother, direct brothers and sisters. I don't know if you have sisters or brothers. None of them lost their lives.
For the war. So you don't blame him. You don't blame him. And people like him are the reason why we Igbos especially were in bondage. Because of their selfishness, selfish ambition. If me and my family, we can afford food, we can fly, we can go on vacation, we can do everything. I don't care what happens to other people. That is people like he is kind of the kind of people. This one is one of them. Somebody like him cannot live abroad, because when you live abroad, you don't all this luxury they get in that zoo called Nigeria. They don't enjoy it here because nobody recognizes your money. Nobody don't. If you have a Mercedes, no matter the kind of car, you will see a cleaner who can afford that kind of car.
Yes.
If it's mansion, you will see a cleaner who can afford it. So they prefer that the system remain the same, where they will keep oppressing and suppressing people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unfortunate for him that this generation of Biafrans, we don't want to die in silence.
Mm.
What our parents, there's a village in my place that said the name of that village is Umokaram. That my children will be greater. So the Biafrans now will be greater than their parents then. So what our parents could not achieve then, this generation of Biafrans is going to achieve it 100-fold.
Sure.
So Mr. Spirit have left me. Moghalu. Yeah. This current Biafra children, we are here to get it. And we are getting it this year. Whether you like it or not, you better remain wherever I hope he has bought his like here you buy your burial stuff and prepare yourself. I hope wherever he is, he has bought his burial cemetery where they will bury him and when he move later on, because Biafra, we will remind him of this video. We will play it to him and to his children. I hear my mic. God bless you all. Worry sister, God bless you, everybody in the studio. Pastor Van, God bless you.
Very much. Thank you very much, Kachifo, my sister. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to be closing it here. I don't know, Worry sister, what do you have to say to conclude? And I don't know if Mbatwe will have something else to add, because I will leave it here so that I'll be able to go to bed on time.
Yeah, so that we can go for Tutoma tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
This one is sellout. It's a sellout guy. If he cannot see what we are going through, if he cannot see what is going on, that is ceremony for one Nigeria, then it's a shame to him. Woe to him. Because I will not say woe to his generation, because his father fought, his father's brother fought. So it's woe to him on his own head that he's going to fight. Look at Danjuma. Danjuma is telling you, fight for your life. You are still thinking about the golden spoon that you've been fed in the past. You don't want to drop it. So people that are fighting, people that have not eaten from golden spoon, you don't want them to be alive. They have to fight to eat with a golden spoon. They have to fight. If you don't want to fight, come up for road. They say give chance for who know road. Give chance for who know road. Whether you like it or not, it's not by you saying it, oh, you prefer them. Whether you talk or not talk about Biafra, they come. And you go here and when the time come. This your golden spoon where you will use. When you don't want to put down for other people to take it. You will eat it. You will drop it by force, because they will tie rope for now. Drag on a go market square, go dance at Jasco for now. Because you can see what people are doing. You can even see what they are doing to your own brother in the detention there. You can see they put your brother's name in the zoo country that is a wanted man for no reason, for no so cause. Just like as you did, so where they shop money, then they will just carry you, put your name for a list where not get here because you want one Biafra, one Nigeria. You not get shame. You not get shame. They take the history, come up for this thing for school. That one they pay you. Why they take them? You know they ask. Why is this super agitated? You know they ask. They say never come up for their mind. It never come up for their mind. Why did they never come up for their mind? Why you not talk? The reason why the fight of 1969, 67 not come up for their mind, you could not even say it. That this is the reason why. You are not bold enough. You are a coward. You are a coward. Even the gentle guy that is asking you question, I should say that guy gets sense past you. Say, they look like Mumu. You go say, whose kind human being be this? What a shame. We're not supposed to give this kind of person this thing self. Make it die with it, make it remember with stupid knowledge when they get. Thank you, Mazi. You know, anywhere I see you people, I must come to support you people because I really love you people. And thank God, I'm just so happy that my eyes are open. I'm just trying to open other people's eye. If his eye is blind, let it blind forever. Make your eye blind, make it not open. If you say over his dead body, indeed, you will be over his dead body. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to play this one for him. in case by chance he comes across this video. Let him see what is happening in that place. Well, it's not a new video, but we'll just add it to some of our videos regularly as evidence to show, Otondos like him that are saying that it is not possible for us to break. Okay, because it's not possible for us to break, we should begin to live in a country where a military man is telling you that a Boko Haram will be president one day. But you, Moghalu, you cannot be president. But a Boko Haram can be president. Listen to what their general is telling you. You cannot be president, but a Boko Haram can be.
An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He's an ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country.
Now, it is only in Nigeria that there is an ex-terrorist. Ask me, is there anything like ex-terrorists in America? Those in Europe, do you have ex-terrorists? Those in England, do you have ex-terrorists brandishing themselves around your country and claiming that they are ex-terrorists? Only in Nigeria that there is ex-terrorists. Ex-terrorists. Can you imagine?
An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time?
Okay.
Opportunities are out there for them.
Hey, look at them. They are eating. Look at them. Are they not the one eating with the vice president here?
Unfortunately, the topic and issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my food. To hell with restructuring.
You see that? Moghalu, hope you can hear that. Hope you can hear that. Eh? Okay. Dear friends, let me give you the important one for you tonight. You need to know that you have to go and do the needful. This is from our brother Marvelous Arinze. Let's go.
Fellow Biafrans, my name is Marvelous Arinze Chukwumanko. Vote. The Biafran self-referendum e-voting is in progress and will be until December this year, 2024. I know you think we still have time, but the duration of time we have from now till then is not too far as we take the reason out. The Biafran Prime Minister can only do his part, which doesn't need emphasis because it is obvious. But he, Simon Ekpa, is entitled to one vote, just like every other Biafran. I respectfully urge you all, Biafrans all over the world, old and young, to participate in the ongoing Biafran self-referendum. Publicize it and assist those who need to be guided about it, to demonstrate our readiness to exit Nigeria. We may not all be in the army, in the media, or in the government, but together from Benue to Kogi, Enugu, Ebonyi, Edo, Imo, Rivers, Delta, Cross River, Anambra, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Abia, and Biafrans all over the world. Together, we will vote to decide our future, and our vote must count. This is a new dimension.
One ijikwa receipt gị, I vote go, ijikwa receipt referendum gị, Biafra self-referendum, jee weta ozugbo, maka ike need ya in the nearest. Nwanna, ijikwa receipt gị, I vote go, ijikwa receipt referendum gị, Biafra self-referendum, jee weta ozugbo, maka ike need ya in the nearest future. Nwanna, ijikwa receipt gị, I vote go, ijikwa receipt referendum gị, Biafra self-referendum, jee weta ozugbo, maka ike need ya in the nearest future. Nwanna, ijikwa receipt gị, I vote go, ijikwa receipt referendum gị, Biafra self-referendum, jee weta ozugbo, maka ike need ya in the nearest future. Nwanna, ijikwa receipt gị, I vote go, ijikwa receipt referendum gị, Biafra self-referendum, jee weta ozugbo, maka ike need ya in the nearest future.
Right. Thank you, fellow Biafrans. Thank you, lovers of freedom. Thank you, Muchineke. Please share this video. Tag every one of those Efulefus out there, all those educated Otondo, like Kingsley Moghalu and the rest of them. Tag them. Let them know that They have time to save themselves now because the redemption is for every Biafran. Nigeria is wrapping up. Biafra is their only hope. The earlier they make that choice, the better for them. Because time waits for no man. Biafra is their final hope and their only hope. And for those of you that are yet to register for the Finland referendum and for your ID card, you better go ahead and do that. The Biafra website, the security website is available. I'm going to play the jingle now, and follow this jingle, and you know what to do. Go to that website and get yourself registered. If you have challenges, please get in touch. Thank you very much. I love you all. But until I see you again tomorrow morning, catch your phone.
You are welcome to the United States of Biafra Security Administration website, the only approved online portal for Biafra citizens' ID card application and event registration. Click on the register button on the menu list if you are a first-time visitor. Fill in your name, phone number, email, and preferred password to create your user account. Check your email inbox for the account verification link from Biafra Security Administration. Click on the Verify Here Now button in the email to complete the verification process. After verification, log in to your account. Upon login, a pop-up message will ask if you want to access the application forms. Click on Go to see the overview and the privacy statement page. Please read carefully and tap Agree and Submit button to view the online application form page. Choose between two types of application forms, the ID card application form and the non-ID card application form. Ensure you read through the descriptions of each before making your choice. Once you select your application type, the application form will open to you for you to fill. Fill the entire form with accurate information and upload any required documents. To avoid errors, jot down answers to questions on paper before completing the online form. After successful filling the application form, you will be redirected to the Jumio verification page to verify your identity. Ensure the uploaded identity document matches the one used for verification. After successful Jumio verification, proceed to the payment page to make payments for your ID card. Upon successful payment, you will receive email confirmation. Please allow up to 7 days for administrators to review your application and make approval. Ensure all information provided is correct to avoid rejection and account suspension for security reasons. Make sure you comply with directives and guidelines provided throughout the process. Thank you. For your event registration to Finland Convention, kindly click on the event button on our website menu. This will direct you to the event page. Select the Finland Convention event. You will be taken to the login page. If you have an existing user account, log in with your email and password. Once logged in, access the convention application form. Fill out the form correctly and select your preferred ticket type. Click on the Pay Now button to make payment for your 2024 Finland Convention event tickets. After successfully submitting your application, wait for 7 days for administrators to review and approve your application. Upon approval, your event ticket will be emailed to you. Please ensure that your email address and all other information provided are accurate to avoid any issues with your application. See you all in Lahti, Finland from November 29th to December 3rd, 2024. Biafra, peace, unity, and freedom. Thank you.
Ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị. Ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-asọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ bụ mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi asị na achọghị ụdị nke ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ. Ihe anyị na-aga na anyị ga-enwerịrị onwe anyị. O nweghị ihe mmadụ dị ndụ pụrụ ime gbasara ya. Eluigwe ekpebiela na anyị ga-enwere onwe anyị nwere onwe nke anyị ga-enwetakwa. Kwa ebulaka jụrụ ụmụ ya sị gbole ka ihe ga-eme unu mara ihe. You see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all costs. At all costs. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. You see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all costs. At all costs. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody.